You know exactly how it feels. You are standing in the middle of a conversation, nodding, smiling, making eye contact. But quietly, almost invisibly, a switch inside you has flipped. You are no longer really there. It happens the moment the conversation settles on the surface. The moment the words become rehearsed. The moment you realize you are exchanging sounds, but not meaning. To everyone else, this is just socializing. They seem to gain energy from the chatter. They seem comfortable swimming in the shallow end. But you feel your battery draining. Visibly, physically. You start calculating how much longer you have to perform before you can escape. People have called you shy. They've called you introverted. They've told you that you're hard to get to know. But deep down, you know those labels are wrong. You aren't afraid of people. And you certainly aren't afraid of talking. You are just allergic to the performance. There is a biological reason why you feel this way. Why your body physically rejects conversations that don't have a pulse. Why you can spend 5 hours talking about the universe with one person and feel energized, but 5 minutes of mingling at a party makes you want to sleep for a week. You aren't broken. You aren't antisocial. You are suffering from something specific. The exhaustion of the disconnect. Here is the truth about what is happening in your brain right now. While others are just listening to words, you are reading the room. You have a nervous system that is wired for high-resolution processing. You don't just hear what people say, you feel what they mean. You detect the mismatch between a polite smile and sad eyes. You notice the tension in a voice that is pretending to be calm. You pick up on the emotional static that everyone else ignores. And because you see so much, ignoring it to talk about the weather feels like lying. It creates a friction in your mind. Psychologists call this cognitive-emotional dissonance. It is the stress of trying to operate on 2 levels at once. The surface level, where you are forced to act like everything is simple, and the deep level, where you know everything is complex. This is why small talk exhausts you. It's not because you are arrogant. It's not because you think you are too deep for normal people. It's because for you, staying on the surface requires you to suppress your strongest sense, which is your intuition. You have to mute the part of you that sees the truth just to make the conversation comfortable for everyone else. This is the great divide that has shaped your life. The world wants ease, but you want resonance. The world wants to float, but you were built to dive. And for a long time, you thought this was your weakness. You wondered why you couldn't just play the game like everyone else. Why you couldn't just turn your brain off and enjoy the party. But there is a chemical reason for that too. It's called low-dopamine social reward sensitivity. Most people get a dopamine hit, a chemical reward, from simple group belonging, from the ritual of fitting in. But you don't. Your brain doesn't reward you for blending in. It rewards you for connecting. It releases dopamine only when it senses truth. Only when the mask falls off. Only when the conversation hits something real. So when you force yourself to mask, when you force yourself to care about things that don't matter, you are doing work without a wage. You are burning expensive cognitive energy and getting nothing back. This is why you learn to hide. This is why you learn to be the silent observer. Because early on, you realized that showing your full intensity scared people away. You were told you were too serious, too intense, too much. So you learned to edit yourself. You learned to offer the world a compressed version of who you are. A version that fits in the elevator. A version that fits at the dinner table. But that editing process is what makes you so tired. You aren't tired of connection. You are tired of the cost of entry. You are tired of splitting yourself in two just to be polite. But here is the good news. The part of this video that matters most. This intolerance you have, this inability to tolerate the fake, it isn't a defect. It is a filter. It is the most valuable tool you possess. Your silence is not an absence of personality. It is a boundary. It is your intuition protecting you from interactions that cost more than they give. You were not made for the shallows, and trying to live there will always feel like suffocating. So stop apologizing for it. Stop feeling guilty for checking out when the conversation dies. Stop forcing yourself to answer the phone when you know the voice on the other end is only going to drain you. Your energy is finite, and because you feel deeply, your energy is precious. You are allowed to save it. You are allowed to wait for the connections that actually feel safe. The ones where you don't have to edit your thoughts before you speak. The ones where you don't have to pretend to be happy just to be polite. The ones where you can finally drop the mask, stop performing, and just exist. You are not too quiet. You are simply saving your voice for something genuine, for something real, for something that is true.